So I'm going to start by asking, what are emotions? Because they're actually quite difficult things to describe. But I guess if I was trying to put it quite simply, it's the way that our body and our head reacts to things that happen to us. I would also say that emotions don't just affect how we feel, they can also affect how we think and how we behave. So if you look at two quite opposite emotions, like feeling happy and feeling sad, the way that you will think and behave when you feel those opposite emotions will be quite different. We can feel emotions in different places in our body. We can feel them in our head, in our neck, in our chest, in our tummy. And sometimes when emotions are really powerful, it's like they've taken over our whole body and we feel them all over. Other times though, and actually most of the time, emotions are actually not that noticeable. They're like a little background noise or a little background thing. And I'd also say that almost everything we do has some kind of emotional response, even if it is a really small one. And the last thing I have to say is emotions are a very normal part of being a human being. Everybody has them. So when we have emotions, they don't just affect how we feel, they can also affect how we think and how we behave. So as humans, we have loads of different ways of feeling or emotions, and we also have loads of different words to describe how a person can feel. But for now, we're just going to look at 4 emotions and the kind of things that could happen to trigger each of those 4 emotions. You might feel happy when you've been handed an ice cream and it's your favourite flavour, or if you get to spend time with a friend that you really enjoy being with. You might feel sad if you just dropped that ice cream and you didn't get to eat it, and you'd also feel sad if your pet died. You might feel scared if you watched a really spooky programme on television, or if you went on the ghost train at a fair. And you might feel angry if somebody was really nasty to you on purpose, or if somebody pushed in front of you in the queue and you've been waiting there patiently for ages. Sometimes we use the word trigger to describe the thing that happened to make any particular emotion come into our body. So different emotions will have different triggers. So can you think of any triggers that have ever made you angry, worried, happy, disappointed, scared, embarrassed, excited or sad? Maybe stop the video so you can have a think about it. So now I'm going to do it the other way round. I'm going to give you some situations of things that might have happened in your life, and if they haven't happened, try and imagine what they would have been like, and then ask you to think in each situation which emotions might be triggered. I'm going to help you though, because I'm going to give you a selection of emotions from which you can choose. Which emotion do you think you would be feeling the night before your birthday party when you're lying in bed thinking about all the fun you're going to have the next day and all the presents you're going to get? Or what feeling could describe how you would feel when you've got nobody to play with and you don't really feel like doing anything and you just can't be bothered? Which emotion do you think would be triggered if you heard a really loud bang very suddenly next to you that you weren't expecting? And how do you think you would feel if a friend was going to visit, but then for some reason they had to cancel and not turn up? And what about if you were really hoping to go on holiday and really looking forward to it, but there was a slight chance that the holiday might get cancelled? Or how do you think you would feel if you had had to stay indoors all day because it'd been raining and you really wanted to go to the park? And lastly, how do you think you would feel if a friend wouldn't let you have a go on their bike, even though yesterday you let them have a go on your bike? So what have we learnt? Well, we've learnt that we all have emotions. It's a normal part of being a human being. We've learnt there's lots of different emotions and they have different names. And we've learnt that when different things happen to us, different emotions can be triggered.